had been. She had always been on one diet or another. She pulled off her padded gloves to rummage in the console between the front seats. There, under a wad of fast-food napkins, she found an energy bar from the center. She also found a packet of pills that public health nurse had given her to help her sleep because her blood pressure had gone so high. She was afraid of getting hooked on any kind of pill, so she hadn't used them. But she'd take one now, and maybe she'd stay asleep, even if she dreamed. That nice young Kurt made sure she understood that she didn't need to stay awake all night, and in fact had encouraged her to get a good night's sleep. It was then that she felt the urgency in her body. In her hurry to get away from the bathroom, she hadn't used the facility. Now it would be a cold, wet walk back, and who knew what was going on in there now? She pulled out a small flashlight and scanned her surroundings through the windows. Dense blackberry vines enveloped the car on three sides. It made a perfect hiding place, but the thorns would do real damage if she wasn't careful. Maybe she could do the relaxation breathing like the nurse showed her to get back to sleep as the pill kicked in. 3.5 baths we had, and now I'm lucky to find a place to squat in the damn bushes, she said. Lawrence still didn't answer. Well, of course not. She was complaining again. He never answered when she complained, especially when it was his fault. She rested her head against the back of the seat and counted 100 breaths. When she was done, it was clear it wasn't going to work, so she aimed the flashlight again, and this time noticed a narrow path that headed toward the railroad tracks. Well, that was that, wasn't it? She reached for the door handle just as the ground began to vibrate. A train was approaching, and it looked like she had misjudged how close the tracks were. The noise and vibration increased to a powerful crescendo, spooking something in the bushes. Leaves and branches near the car shook. As Arden peered into the blackness, wild, glowing eyes shone into her own frightened ones, then disappeared. The train passed and the noise and vibration ceased. All was still again except for the hammering in her chest. The moment had made her urgency worse. She had to risk it. She first unzipped her jacket and then her jeans to make the trip out and back the shortest possible. She hoped that whatever was out there would be wary of people and would leave her alone. She reached again for the door handle, but a new thought froze her. What if those eyes didn't belong to an animal? She knew there were homeless encampments hidden throughout the dense brush and woods, places where bad things could happen. She shivered and drew a breath. If Orrin could see her now, not in a million years would he have believed that riding the booms and bubbles would lead to this. Maybe that's why she couldn't hear him anymore. Did he know that in her heart of hearts, she still had not forgiven him for selling the house where they raised their son, now buried in Arlington, just to make a few extra dollars? She scanned the dark once more for those glittering eyes. The choice was simple. Either have a backbone or wet the seat. All she had to do was be quick and quiet. The overhead light was on and off in an instant as her small frame darted through the door. Outside in the dark, her heart was pounding so hard she could feel it in her temples. She breathed deeply to try to calm herself. But damp night air had always made her cough, and tonight was no exception. Coughing made the situation worse. She swore when she realized her underwear now was damp and she couldn't do a thing about it until morning. But she still had to go, so she tugged her cap even farther down over her gray curls and made her way onto the path, small step by small step.